Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Paul, otherwise known as OPTIBOTIMUS, and today I will be bringing you a video review of something that you guys have been asking for a long time. Today I will be reviewing the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction movie. It came out this past Tuesday, and I got my copy. And the copy that I got came with this. This was the Amazon exclusive that comes with a small little statue of Optimus Prime riding Grimlock. You can see some really nice detail on there. I don't know how well my camera wants to focus on that, but it actually is really pretty nice. Oh, there we go. It can focus decently when it wants to. Great detail all the way throughout. I mean, Grimlock looks incredible. I really do like it. This whole set, in addition to the Blu-ray that you get, was $80. Now, for me, I mean, the Blu-ray itself is going to cost you $20. This I don't necessarily think is worth $60. It's got this just plastic base. I mean, the base doesn't look all that bad from the top, but I mean, it's just a plastic base. It is heavy duty. I mean, you can see that it is soft, rubbery bits in some areas. I mean, Optimus is a little wiggly on there. That kind of makes me nervous over time. I mean, you can see that Grimlock's arms are a little bit softer, but I mean, it's really great detail. Like I said, I mean, that is a really nice little statue of him. I mean, it's not too big. I mean, you can see that it's about the height of a DVD case or something, so it's not too terribly big, but I don't feel that this is worth $60. As great as it looks, I don't think it's worth $60. So I don't know how much I can actually recommend picking up this version. This is kind of an extreme version. But a lot of people had asked me to review the movie, and I wanted to see it a couple times before I actually did the review. While it was still in theaters, I saw it, I think, 3 times. I'm pretty sure it was 3 times. That's actually where I got this t-shirt, too. You can see Transformers 4. I got the Transformers 4. This is a production hat. But I wanted to see it a few times before I actually put my thoughts down on it. And I'll be honest, the movie has gotten a lot of criticism. The biggest one that I see a lot of people criticizing, or the biggest thing that people I see criticizing about on the movie is that, well, number one, it's Michael Bay, and that's just, people are always going to complain about Michael Bay. Number two, they thought it was a very long movie. I'm not going to get into too much of the premise behind the movie. You probably have seen it. I might mention some things that spoil some things, but at this point in time, the movie's already been out for a couple months. It's available right now on digital copy, on hard copy, so it's out there. So if I mention any spoilers, I apologize, but I mean, you should have seen it by now. But it's a long movie. It is 164 minutes, which translates to, let me see, 164. I'm terrible at math. That translates to 2.73 hours. It's a long movie. So like almost 3 hours. So we're talking like Lord of the Rings time. A lot of people complained about that, and I do think that it was a little bit long, but I also think that it was warranted. I think if they cut some parts out, people would have complained that there wasn't enough focus on certain elements or things like that. I mean, I don't even know what they could actually cut out. So I do recognize and understand the complaint that it's long, and you know, there were peaks and valleys in the film. Some things seem like it dragged on for a while, but all in all, I really did enjoy it. Would I say that it's my favorite Transformer movie? Probably not. I'd say that the first one is still my favorite, but it's definitely better than Revenge of the Fallen and marginally better than Dark of the Moon. One thing that I would say is that the movie itself seemed to have more robots in it than humans. That was one complaint a lot of fans had, that the ratio of humans to robot in the first 3 movies was like 2 to 1. The ratio, I would say, for Age of Extinction was about 2-to-1 in favor of robots. And I think that's just because of the advancements in technology and things becoming cheaper. It's easier to do CGI now. It's cheaper to do CGI, so you're able to have those characters on screen a little bit more. I've always maintained that for these movies to be successful, they have to have something that appeals to just not fans. These movies are not made for fans. They're not made for people who grew up with Transformers. This is a new way to usher in fans to the franchise, and it's done a tremendous job for it. We've gotten 4 live-action movies. We've gotten some incredible toys from it. It's really breathed breath, or put new life. That's what I'll say. It put new life into the franchise, which, quite frankly, was going down. Looking at financial numbers, things were slowly on the downhill, and because of the movies, it went up. So it is a new generation 1. You could almost maybe call it generation 2 for Transformers. It's a new group of people that are watching it. And Age of Extinction, while not having the same human elements, it's not a reboot in the sense that, there's different characters. Everything still has happened that the previous movies had. It's from a different person's perspective. Mark Wahlberg's character, Cade, his daughter, Tessa, her boyfriend, Shane, it's from their perspective. So Sam, Michaela, Rosie, they all exist in the world still. They're essentially ignored in this one. I do think that there was one instance where Optimus was talking to Cade, and Cade was kind of going on and on about I want to say like his love life, or his daughter's love life, and was like he doesn't have any control over these kids. And Optimus is like, yeah, I know what that's like. I went through something like that with Bumblebee, which I think is their way of nodding to Sam being in love, or to Bumblebee being in love with Sam back then. So I think there is that touch, but I think that these movies have done exactly what they needed to do. Age of Extinction, while yes, a longer movie, had more character, I don't want to say character development, but you just felt like the robots were there more, because they were. And I think that was something that they were able to do, as I said, because of the advancements in the technology. Michael Bay has even said that at some point in time it might be possible that the entire movie might be CGI. That's just going to come with time and making the technology for it cheaper over that period of time. So they're very intricate Transformers, or models, I should say. Millions of parts go into creating the look that we see on screen, and I think that they did a pretty good job. Story-wise, I liked what they did with the story. It was a natural kind of evolution, I would say, to what we saw in Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, where humans kind of don't trust the Transformers. And we saw a lot of it with the Decepticons. They were very ruthless in going after the Decepticons and hunting them down. We saw that in one of the opening scenes for Revenge of the Fallen. So it stands to reason that at some point in time it would turn against them, and that's basically what happened. The Autobots are in hiding. They're being hunted by, I think it's called Cemetery Wind or something like that. It's a secret agent sort of thing, led by Kelsey Grammer's character, who I forgot what his name is, and some other guy who's on the ground going after him, who has a very strong connection to removing the Transformers because some of his family was killed in the Battle of Chicago. So I liked seeing that. I liked seeing the desperate nature that the Transformers were in. This is definitely not a movie that a lot of old school Transformer fans, guys like me, I call them G-whiners. I shouldn't do that. That's not really all that nice. But people that fixate on wanting the movies to look a certain way, they don't like this movie. They don't like a lot of the Michael Bay movies. But I think that they've done their purpose. I think that they really contributed to the legacy that Transformers leaves. But the film itself opens. We see Cade in a very desperate time, desperate place in his life, and I think that resonates with a lot of people that are watching it. That connectivity to the characters is still there, whereas before, fans would or people watching it would identify with Sam and live the life, or see things through his perspective, and that's how they would connect with those characters on the screen. Now it's an adult Cade, Mark Wahlberg, who is I don't want to say he's a much better actor, but it's more enjoyable because he does have that presence in the film that Shia just really didn't. I mean, Shia is a young kid, and Mark Wahlberg is an adult who brings that nuance to the films. The premise is that he's a desperate inventor struggling to make ends meet. He's stealing electricity from his neighbors. I mean, things like that. He can't pay bills, and I think a lot of people can identify with that. And it's an interesting take on it. Like I said, the Autobots are in hiding at this point in time because that secret branch of the government is trying to hunt them down. It's like they're autonomous from the rest of the government. They don't seem to understand what cemetery wind. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't remember, but like, for example, the president has no idea. The chief of staff, there's a chief of staff in the movie, has no idea what they're doing. And essentially they're just their argument is that they're making the planet safe. And Kelsey Grammer's character was really evil, and he does such a great job. But Kelsey's such a great actor that he's able to bring that character to life. And you almost, when you're watching it, you almost think it's like, that guy really could exist in real life. Like, there's some conniving little sniveling somewhere in the CIA that could do something like this. And that's where a real good villain comes from. The belief that they're not doing things wrong, that they're doing them for the right reasons. And he believes that he is. He's trying to remove them, trying to protect themselves. And in doing so, I can't remember his name. Totally forgot his name. The rich, where's he at? This guy right here. That dude, I forgot his name. The rich inventor, as opposed, the opposite side of Cade, who's the poor inventor. He is an inventor who discovered this element called transformium, which they can use to make this become this, or take something like this and make it turn into this. It's the DNA, it's the code for the Transformers, and all Transformers are made up of it. What we end up also learning is that Earth, way back in prehistoric years, was cyberformed by the creators, or whatever they're called. People want to just call them the Quintessons, I guess. I guess we can go with that. They cyberformed Earth by dropping seeds on our planet, and those seeds in turn made all organic life turn into this material, transformium, which they ended up harvesting, taking back to Cybertron or whatever, and using that to create the Transformers. They went away, they had all their stuff, they left some on the planet, obviously, and we discovered it, and that's what we started using to make this transform into this. So they're starting mining that stuff. The problem is we started running out of it. So him, along with Kelsey Grammer's character, come up with this plot that they're going to use the government as a way to remove the possible threat of another alien war. They're going to use them to make other things like Galvatron and Stinger. So they run out of the material. They have to start using the Autobots and Decepticons, because when you break down their body, you're able to use that same material. To me it's a very dark concept. The humans in turn end up teaming up with Lockdown. Lockdown's the, I guess, enemy in this, although for the most part the humans are the enemies in the new film, but they're working with Lockdown. The deal is that Lockdown is going after the Knights, just great warriors that the creators put out there. For what reason we don't know just yet. And Lockdown is out to hunt them, and he's looking for Optimus Prime. And the whole deal is that if the humans give Lockdown Optimus Prime, he will give them one of the seeds, which will allow them to drop it and create more Transformium. In hindsight, it'll probably make them all die, but they don't seem to recognize that much, or know it, really. They think they can drop it in just like the Mongolian desert or something like that, and in just a small area take it, but it's more hinted that the entire planet will be at jeopardy. So through this whole process, they are creating all these extra Transformers that are man-made. Galvatron, Stinger, and a lot of other ones that are just random. Galvatron is Megatron reborn, essentially. Again, if you haven't figured that out by now, or if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling things. And he's going through and he's doing his thing, and he's reborn by the help of Brains, which I'm happy to see Brains back in it. That was nice to see. Kind of wish that Wheelie was still around, but Brains and Wheelie were fun together. But the story worked pretty well, I thought. And a lot of people don't necessarily like the way that the Transformers that were man-made transformed. I actually didn't mind it. It kind of showed a very simple way of doing it, that they just changed and morphed. And it's almost like, because it was being controlled by humans, it's like the humans didn't perfect it yet. That's how I guess I look at it. So it doesn't bug me too much that that's the way that it looked. I thought that was kind of neat. So yeah, Galvatron is there. Galvatron is Megatron. And it upsets Optimus. It upsets Optimus that the humans did this. I mean, obviously, it's not a good thing. My hair's popping out of my head. So through that, though, you see Optimus going through to a very dark place. He's very disappointed in his what do you call them? Friends, I guess. People that he worked with. He's very let down by them, and you see him go to a very dark place where he feels as if he's lost everything. All of his friends are being killed by the people that he went there, or that he was trying to protect, and so he feels very betrayed. And yes, he does kill Kelsey Grammer's character. That doesn't bug me, really. Some people will be like, well, that's Optimus Prime, he doesn't kill. Well, this is a different kind of Optimus Prime. We're now 4 movies into this, and people still want to think of him as G1 Optimus Prime. He does what is necessary to do. So, like at the end of Dark of the Moon, he killed Megatron because he realized he needed to. That was the only way that this was going to stop. And in doing so, he now left it open for the humans to come in, and his friends, his family, are being killed by the humans, by one human specifically, and Optimus wants revenge, plain and simple. Is that normal for Optimus? No, but this is a new version of Optimus, and I kind of like that little edginess, but but you could see the despair in him, and I really like that. And the voice given to him by Peter Cullen has a much more depressed kind of sound to it, and it works so wonderfully. Frank Welker does return as the voice of Galvatron, which I thought was real nice. It sounded really good. All in all, though, up to then, you know, it was a pretty good action movie. Things progressed fairly decently, I thought. I understood what was happening in it. The Dinobots. Let's touch on these guys. People didn't like that they were in there for such a short amount of time because, again, fans of the franchise want them there a lot more. I didn't really think you needed them. I mean, they were introduced. They were knights as well that were captured by lockdown, so that's why they were there on lockdown ship. And they were basically just used to help turn the tide for them. The Autobots had a hard time, you know, fighting all these man-made Transformers, and they needed backup, and that's really all they were there for, just to provide that backup. So they served their purpose. Would I like to have seen more of them? Absolutely. Why not? But using the well, not the exact words because I don't remember the exact quote, but my UPS driver, who's not really a Transformers fan, but his kids love Transformers. Little kids, you know, I mean, that grew up with Optimus Prime being a Peterbilt. He loved seeing Grimlock. He thought it was action-packed. It was really just cool. That's basically what it comes down to. That's what he thought of it. So they served their purpose. Then they ran off and they did their thing. They were gone. The other thing that I noticed is that this movie really seemed to, more than the other ones, set up a sequel. One thing that, I mean, it's not actually shown on the like box or anything, but in a lot of promotional images, it was Transformers 4: Age of Extinction. Transformers 4: Age of Extinction. This was the first one that actually used a number in there. And none of the other movies seem to directly connect as a sequel of sorts, which didn't bother me because a lot of, I mean, I say the G. Weiner term again. A lot of them seem to forget that there was no real continuity from episode to episode in the original cartoons. Autobots would just randomly show up, and where'd they come from? Who knows? Like, Red Alert, where did you come from? Perceptor, Blaster, where did you guys come from? They're just there one episode, and you're just, okay, that's fine. And nobody had a problem with it. But now in the movies, they have problems with it. So I don't understand the problem. But so I mean, there are some extra Autobots. I mean, you got Hound, Crosshairs, Drift. All these guys are there. I mean, we do see, you know, like what happened to all the other ones. You're led to believe that the rest of them were pretty much killed. I mean, they showed Ratchet. They showed Leadfoot being killed. One would assume that the other ones are also gone. I don't think they need to show every single one being eliminated. I think you got the point when we saw a very dragged out scene with Ratchet being killed. But so this one seemed to have more of a sequel attached to it. I mean, the Dinobots run off and they do their thing as if there's going to be something else for them later on. The way that it ended with Optimus Prime leaving, saying to his creators that he's coming after them, that seems to set up the next one very nicely. Obviously, Galvatron is like, I am, you know, we shall meet again, for I am reborn. I mean, again, there's a lot of different things that seem to set up sequels. The opening scene with the we'll call them the Quintessons coming out and dropping the seeds and stuff, and then whatever happens to them, what they go off and do. Why is lockdown here? I mean, a lot of these things just seem to set up a sequel more than anything. Now, whether or not Michael Bay does that one remains to be seen. There's rumors or speculation, but when it comes to Michael Bay and his movies, I do not believe anything that is said to me until I actually see it in a movie. So I don't get my hopes up. I don't also get let down by that. So, did I like the movie, though? I really did. Like I said, I think it's marginally better than Dark of the Moon. A lot better than Revenge of the Fallen. Not as good as the first one, just because the first one has that aura of newness to it. I really dig that. I liked seeing Bumblebee again in this one. He wasn't as prevalent of a character in this because obviously Sam's not there and it's different. I hated with a passion Shane, I did not like him in the movie at all. I don't understand. I honestly think they could have completely eliminated him and made Tessa become a much stronger character if, through the course of the movie, Cade recognizes that Tessa is able to take care of herself, which is something that he was concerned about, her being able to take care of herself and have a future for herself. And there's a whole scene at the end where he tells Shane to take care of her, no matter what, to the end of the world, all this stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." But the thing that I don't like about Shane is he does nothing but absolutely disrespect Cade. I mean, their relationship is hidden, and it kind of slaps him in the face out of the blue, and there's a whole scene where they go to a store to get supplies, and they buy a mouthwash, and he's like, "What do you need this for?" And he's like, "Because I like being fresh when I'm making out with your daughter." Who would say that? I mean, that was terrible. I didn't like that at all. And there's another scene where, towards the end, where Shane is like, "Let's get this straight. You're helping, or like, I'm not helping you save your daughter. You're helping me save my girlfriend." Well, it's the same thing. And you're basically just insulting him, saying that you're not, doing it. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's your daughter. We're working on saving my girlfriend, even though they're the same people. He just had a very high level of disrespect for Cade, and it worked, I guess, in the fact that it made Cade still not like him, and then he ends up liking him at the end. But I think a better way of doing it would have been introducing Cade and Tessa, having Tessa be a concern for Cade growing up, making sure that she's being able to take care of herself. And through the course of the movie, Cade sees her become a woman and grow up and be able to take care of herself, hold her own in situations like this. I think you could have completely gotten rid of Shane in the movie if you went that way, and I think it would have been a much better use of people, like the plot, I guess. I was kind of disappointed that I can't remember his name, the goofy comedy guy that's like partners with Cade in the beginning of the movie. He's unfortunately killed off, but I think that again shows the darkness of the movie. It's something that I liked, because it's like it takes it, for me, it kind of took me by surprise, like, whoa, I can't believe that they did that. That's crazy. But they did it, and I think it worked pretty good. That's really about it. I enjoyed it, like I said, and I've been rattling on here for now like 27 minutes. So if you're sitting here watching the movie, thank you, or watching this video, thank you. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was pretty good. It's not a movie that I think is ever going to win accolades. I don't think that it's not a Shawshank Redemption. This is not a movie that I'm going to feel inspired by when I watch it. I mean, it's not that kind of a movie, and I think that that's the point. You just have fun. I think too many fans out there, too many old school Transformer fans, put their own spin on things and a little bit of a prejudice on it, and they don't recognize that. Well, a lot of them do recognize. I shouldn't say that they don't, but they want the movies to be what they want. And if they made movies, I've said this for a long time, if they made movies just for fans, what you would end up with is basically Superman Returns, which did not do well at all, despite the fact that I actually liked it. You gotta have movies that appeal to people that are not fans, and that's what I think the Transformer movies do, and I think that's what Michael Bay does for the franchise. So I do hope he sticks around. I hope he stays for as long as they keep bringing him back to do the movies. Or he's still involved with them in some way, shape, or form. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. One thing that, if you guys stuck around for this entire video, I applaud you and I thank you. And as a special gift from now, which is I'm recording this early, but you're seeing it live. Well, not live, but you're seeing it Friday the 3rd of October 2014. For the next week, up until Friday the 10th, if you have watched this whole video and you've gotten to this point, I want you to leave a comment down in the comment thing. Just tell me what you thought about the movie. Tell me what you think about it. But I would also like you to put in the hashtag giveaway. Type that. So type hashtag giveaway. Give me your thoughts on what you thought of the movie, good or bad. Let's have a discussion about this. Respect people's opinions, but let's have a discussion about it. But if you put hashtag giveaway, I will send you your own copy of Transformers Age of Extinction. It's the Blu-ray, digital copy, and DVD. So even if you don't have a Blu-ray player or whatever, you can still watch it. So if you want to win this, leave me a comment with hashtag giveaway, as well as your thoughts on the movie. And a week from today, I'll send this out to you. So again, this giveaway will run from October 3rd, 2014 to October 10th, 2014. So if you're watching this 2015, when we're talking about the leaked information about the new Transformers movie, you're not going to be eligible, obviously. But again, like I said, if you stuck around for this whole time, that's why I'm going to give that a little something away. Now, you're not getting this with it. I'm keeping this. But you're going to get this. Because I bought this version, which is the 3D version with the IMAX 3D. It's the exact same movie, but you get the 3D version with it. But you're going to get this copy right here. Brand new. Still in the little plastic thingamajigger. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts on Transformers Age of Extinction. Thank you for being patient with me, and until next time, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.